Hey, what up there? First tell it now. It's cool. I don't know who that is out there with me, fam, but go ahead and yo, stay echoing for some reason. Mm. Dang, I should have took this all the way off. Okay, I got a few people in the room with me. Ah, and let me know if the sound. What? Yo, I wonder why it's echoing like that. So the few people that I have in the chat room, can you hear me? And is it echoing? Yo, is it echoing? I wonder why it's going. Yo, yo, I wonder where my. Oh, I didn't even see that. Yo, I wonder where my.
Bright as the stars in the twilight. I can't forget that they orange and they rhyme like. Watch out, cause they know it's reptiles. Living on their belly side, grinding. G-style, wrong to the battlefield, a sword in the shield to get busy. I repeat simply, this is not a deal or a non-violent act. Full black movement, special ghetto algorithm, warfare unit. Boom, time to hunt, coming once it's urgent. Emergencies, MCs reading, your silence is fragile. Exit into exile, beta, crack the back, we can develop some more flavor. Since when who's the world, I'ma stay on the ground. Got my feelings in this west sunshine. I'm all about my chips. I ain't lying. Got my feet to the floor in the fast lane, trying to break the trouble all hell. In the habit of all hell, fellas red take the meat and they bad as hell. Mr. G try to see it ain't hard to tell. From the break this number, that's a player right there. Your chick gon' spin just like a nigga spin. Make sure you spin most so you always win. This is what you game. But who's to blame for the same? It ain't the same. Talking about me and they thing. I motivate, grab the weight, never playing for them. But they broke person tripping. So quit trying to play a hate, stay out the next man. Better grind that way. When the situation's dollars, time to slash. Now the people party over with the cash. When it's all said and done, we get the last laugh. What you heard, man? Drop the bag. So grind, they beats the bang. We got the soul, sweet ass lips that's in a whole nother zone. We love trade on, we'll take that ass. On wax all the zone. We strive to be the hottest, top notch on the scene. Being like a fiend, stay down with my team. It's a shit, situation getting shit at me. Come people, we try to take the shit at me. Niggas ain't ballers, these niggas ain't bullies. But these niggas doing the most, these niggas kill me. You wouldn't understand this path we chose. Rise for much more than chips for a poke. So we roll on the fake ass ballers with fake soul. Move it to the left, straight, get it yourself. Sold everything that niggas is not up. Got a bag of recipes, so I know that it's sold. When the situation's dollars, time to smash. Now, legal people party over with the cash. When it's all said and done, we get the last laugh. What you heard, man? Drop the bag.
Breathtaking peppermint. Rich, dark chocolate. York peppermint patty. Get the sensation.
Alright, what up, fam? Yo, how's the sound? You don't gotta be timid and shy. You can. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start speaking. Um, I'm not sure if my sound is on point or not, um, but I wanted to speak about some of the things that I spoke about in my earlier live stream, just to give a little bit more clarity to. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of this and restart this. Um, Yo, mic check, mic check. Let's go. Okay, I'm not sure if anybody can hear me. I'm trying to get a sound check. I don't know if anybody can actually see this. I gotta put some socks on. But I wanted to talk about a few things that I spoke about in the earlier stream. So one of the things I spoke about, which I want to kind of get back on, is the um, information that I've said about the Mexicans come across the border that were actually criminals, and that may be only about 80% of them. And the only reason why I say that because that's what it is. Um, Not that I'm dissing Chicos, and not that I'm dissing Mexicans, but that's what it is. Those are the only ones that want to come over here illegally, besides the poor. Whether you know it or not, if you are poor, you are a criminal, according to the certain democratic system that we are being subjected under to anywhere that you go in the world, not just to the United States. But I see there's one viewer watching. One viewer watching. Could you give me some feedback to let me know if the sound is good? Could you also let me know if there's a delay? I mean, keep it real. No disrespect or no. If you want to keep yourself hidden, you could just make a fake page and just show your real self. If you're a hater or if you agree, you don't have to actually, you know, be too timid. You know. So I can't actually see it here, but I'm trying to make sure that this live stream is going well. I'm trying to see if it's going good. And let me see. I'm trying to make sure that this live stream is going well. I'm trying to see if it's going good. And, I'm trying to make sure that this live stream is going well. I'm trying to see if it's going good. Yo. 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 All right. Yo. Yo. All right. I don't know if it's a delay or feedback, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple minutes in before I stop this and be able to view this to see if I've got everything going good. But I really wanted to reiterate on a few things that I spoke about in my last uh, about the topics. Some of the topics I had in my last live stream about what I was saying about Mexicans. Actually, 80% of the people that come across the border that are actually Mexicans. Um, I come across the invisible border that the United States have created, which this was all part of the land. Till further notice, those are actually Aboriginal people, whether they be mixed or not, and they are also a part of the Israelite heritage, not doctrine and heritage, because being an Israelite is not something you just subscribe to. It's actually a bloodline lineage. I'm pretty sure majority of the people that actually watch my page and certain other brother pages that are roundabout actually know about this. So, over the few people out that are watching this, could you actually give a feedback? There's no reason to be scared. If you don't want to be here, that's all on you. But at the same time, I feel you got the right to be timid, shy. That's why if you scared like that, uh, wear a mask, make a fake page. Same thing. Um, so actually, I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking. This this stream right here is not going to be too long. It'll probably be about uh, 30 more minutes. I'll probably stop this at 6:45, but I want to speak about a few things on a certain page. It was a good job that I feel we did on the first live stream that I had. That was actually a test run. I didn't expect for it to be up and running like that, but that's just, basically molding the clay. I appreciate the brothers and sisters who were watching the chat, who were watching the live stream, and actually, if you comprehended on what I was trying to make out of this live stream for us, was actually just the, because man, I know how it is. Some people just need to, some people need to have somebody to bring whoever they aspire to be out of them. Some people might still be into all this knowledge, knowing that they're Israelite, knowing that they're Aboriginal. Uh, you can say Indians, but that's not really the term. There's a few other terms, and to keep it real with you, even if you're an Israelite, then the so-called customs of the what you call Native American are actually also the same thing. There's no difference. It's not that you will be saying I'm an Israelite Indian, or you know what I'm saying. It is a difference in ethnicity and nationality, but at the same time, some of the same customs that we have as people are not limited to who you call the Native American. That's one thing I want to speak about because there's some things I wanted to. It's some. I got a few things, a few subjects for a curriculum to speak about in these next 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I want to speak about the so-called Native Americans. Until further notice, I would consider them as uh, somewhat brothers and sisters from the Israelite heritage. Uh, but at the same time, you can say they ain't talking bad. They acting just like, well, Mexicans are closer than actually so-called Native Indians to black people that we know of. And it's funny how we throw ourselves in this term black people when knowing that black people like us, um, so-called U.S. Negroes and islanders somehow beef with each other and they go against each other grain. Um, Even though they say we black, we're not actually friendly to each other, which is a part of the curses of being an Israelite, and also remembering who you are as an indigenous person. Now you can say, and to keep it honestly and real with you, Native Americans and Reubenites, they're both what you call Native Americans or Aboriginal people, but at the same time, they are not the same tribe. They have same customs. They do same things. Some of them even look the same. Because a Reubenite, if you actually fathom this Israelite information that has been coming out and remembering who we are, if you don't, there's nothing I can actually, you know, tell you besides that what this information that our people bring out to ourselves is actually true. And I would suggest that you believe what we say other than what some outside influence would say. And if you don't already know, I suggest you check out the ISUPK. These are some powerful brothers. Um, they bring out the information, and if you don't believe the information that has been brought out about 12 tribe chart, as you would say, then what else do you believe in? You know what I'm saying? Who's the 12 charts to you? Until further notice, I would suggest that you listen to your own people who are actually being feral, who are not being dogs and coons under the white man, who, even though they may have some vices, I mean, who really don't in this world, in this Babylonian world. I suggest you go and check out my video called, it's a few videos. It's about Nate Parker and the birth of a nation. It's actually called, one is called Strange Fruit and Foreign Babylon. Um, but I'm kind of into society and stuff, and like I said, in the different societies, in the ancient societies that we try to fathom throughout the biblical narrative, it's good to know what was going on in all elements of the different nations, such as the Roman nation. When you think of Romans, you think of just faggot sexuals, um, laurel wreaths, and the Colosseum. It's actually a whole lot more than that. What were they actually selling in their markets? What were they? What were the society's domestic animal, favorite domestic animal? That's just like some nations. Not all nations have dogs as their favorite society pet. You know what I mean? Like we as a people, we may have many different animals in a species. It's just like the nation's mascot, the nation's I wouldn't say animal totem, but I want to kind of bridge something along with this, the Israelite narrative and the Aboriginal narrative, on what you think is taboo against each other, the scriptures and heritage. Both were actually one and the same. From my perspective, I'm letting you know that those biblical scriptures were also over here in America, and and that was some of the same things that the so-called Native American people were still living by, was still being taught, whether it was orally or not. Um, excuse me, umming so much. But and to the one person who's actually in the chat room, could you actually give some feedback? Could you give a little feedback and let me know how the stream is going? Is it going to? Is it? Are you able to see it? Is it Is it delaying? Is the sound on point? Well, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is the one person watching? Is the multiple person watching? All right. Hey, you need a stick there? Stick. Stick. Get a little feedback, but bridging this whole um biblical narrative with the um indigenous, and I kind of hate that term Indian, only if it applies to my, this. I'm gonna give a little bit of my perspective. The whole Indian thing, I would say, is just a war fashion. If you want to call anybody a savage, it would be a warrior. Warriors are savages. You can't sit here and lie. You can't sit here and deny. If Judah, if Benjamin, which is actually the wolf, if you don't know, uh, if Benjamin, if all these brothers had these certain tribes and had certain aspects of their nation, which were their war classes or their soldier classes or their military class, would they still be deemed savages if they were going off to war? It's just like we can uh, kind of make an analogy or a comparison with today's military, which is in the U.S. and which are in the other nations. Would they be considered savages when they go against another war, another military? Aren't they considered savages unto the other people? Aren't they considered bad people? Aren't they considered, what would they be considered? You know what I mean? Did some of the ancient nations call people barbarians because that was their war class or their military class? You got to think about that. Just so you know that the Aztecs were actually a military social class. It's not like they were uh, certain things within that certain tribe of the Aztec people, which is actually like a Aztec is itself as a class. Basically, what I'm getting to. You know, the people who are goals in their mouth, and I'm keeping it straight at G real with you. If you don't know, there is information out about Andrew Jackson bringing 7 million Aztec Negroes up here to build railroads in the South, or all the way from shining sea. And just so you know, my grandmother actually has the documents of where her father was building the railroads. So if you don't know, most of the Negroes that you see being sold on auction blocks, not only Aztec Negroes, but these were actually. I suggest you go and watch my video. What is it called? Aztec People Showcased. And you can actually see that these were actually Negro people. These are Negro people. That's why I say saying it's an Indian term, and then the Aborigine is just, you know, coming from the white man, or excuse me, the pale man's perspective, saying that these are the people that were originally on the land. But what would the Aborigines call themselves? They don't actually call themselves Australians. Well, that's, I believe, is an Austrian term. But these people call us, they give us certain different names, and we actually form under certain different names as a, I won't say clique, I won't say set, but somewhat sub tribe, not as a tribe in totality. If you watching this, you should know that a lot of this stuff that's going on, this information that we speak of, the 12 tribes of Israel, were not only in America, but also in different places on other continents. Um, Information which I'm going to try to bring out sooner than later um, is about certain Israelites that held down certain kingdoms and other nations. And if you don't know this by now, even though the certain people might be in other nation, that doesn't mean that they didn't have the certain customs that we as a people had over here on this continent. As you know, the whole Judah and Mali thing. If you don't know about Mali and Timbuktu, it may not be Mali, but the whole as a matter of fact, it is. It's the Lion of Mali. These people were actually what you would call Aboriginal Americans also. And if you don't know that David, King Solomon, King David, you know, these brothers, our brothers, actually had kingdoms in other parts of the world, ruled other parts of the world, had people of conquered different nations and set up what you would call UN bases, somewhere like that. But a lot of this information, a lot of things that these other nations are doing in the world, actually they get it from us, and they actually get it from our scripture. They get it from our ancient knowledge and secrets. I would suggest that you go and check it out, even though we're on this frequency. If you are a zealous biblical camp Israelite, then more power to you, and trying to steer away from what you think is taboo. But if you are a more enlightened and acceptable person to your own culture, not own culture, but certain indigenous culture of this continent, then I would suggest you go and check out some of all the things that we used to be into as a people, what we felt, what made us sin, what was sin to us, what was taboo to us, and also kind of bring out what we should stay clear of. Because, like I said, I was speaking to a brother. I ran across some information about so-called indigenous, or what you call autochthonous, about certain. It's some information on what's now called porn, which may actually be diluted and may be into the hands of the wicked. I'm not suggesting that you go and check it out. I'm not suggesting. I'm not even trying to be, but I'm just letting you know that this was something that I ran across. It's not something I can't leave out, and I'm actually bring it out, no matter how awkward it is. I'm not telling you to get on porn. I don't really watch porn like that. I don't watch porn at all like that. Um, I don't watch it, but I'm just letting you know that this was something. As a matter of fact, when I bring it out, I'm gonna bring it out because I'm trying not to sound taboo to a lot of people, even though a lot of people still do a lot of things that would be considered taboo, whether or not they're turning away or not. And brothers and sisters, please, not at all am I telling you to delve or get into the spirit of United States pornography, any pornography for that sense, because one thing that I kind of want to linked together is actually about the whole Hindu people dealing with certain knowledge that they actually got from us. Because let you know, we the people, we the most, how can we say it? If you check out the certain cultures, I'm gonna skip that for now, but I just laid that out there. But if you check out the certain cultures that we used to run, the certain civilizations that we used to run, and the different countries that were not in this country, you will actually see that these people were not Christians. The whole what we fathom as a Christian mind state these days from these people, they so holy they don't even um, I don't know what to call it, but all that there is fake. Just like what you would consider as cussing or cursing or curse words or what you would consider that to be. Uh, Viper is a cuss word. Viper is a curse word. But today you can say Viper like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? As we know, the word fuck, or what I would say is fuck, was actually something that was brought out by European kings. A brother brought it out. I don't know who. I forgot what it was. But if you check out the word fuck, it's actually something that pertained to a king that would have sex with a peasant woman before she got married to a peasant man. So the way that we're using it today is not actually the same way it was used when it was first formed. In the language of the people who actually created this certain, how can I say this? Created this certain terminology. You're gonna have to excuse my language. You're gonna have to not be too timid or not be too meek. But what you would consider sex in our present day language would not be what would be considered sex in the people that actually created the concept of sex. Because other people don't really call sex in different cultures and countries. Only if they were conquered and infected with the ideology of the United States government and the United States people. And just so you know, the United States, we all United States citizens, we are United States slaves. They are Roman citizens and they are Roman slaves. Paul was a Roman citizen, but I'm pretty sure he had family members who were actually Roman slaves. There's a difference in this, is what I'm saying. There's a difference between nationality and ethnicity. Uh, right now in the Philippines, I'm pretty sure there are 4 to 5 different type of Philippine people. There are different elements of people in the nation, different classes, if you want to say that. That leads me to the whole Aztec, Mayan, Toltec, Mixtec information, saying that these certain names, if you would like to say Aztec Indian, you are actually saying that these are elite classes of the certain indigenous people in that area, you know, and states. Just so you know that each state, there are 52 states in this so-called country, but you don't actually know that each state is actually a small country, is what they consider it. Florida is actually a country. Basically, they chopped up the map, lines were drawn, territory was split up. You got landlords or lords of your land, which are actually Baals, because these are rulers from another nation, which is actually going against the law of not having strangers over you as a, you can say political power or you can say anything else. You're not supposed to be under them, period. But my point was a lot of the information that we know to be fact today is not actually what it was originally. So murder, death, and killing, which is called MDK, if you notice that those are all some of the same similar words, but they're not actually the same thing. A judge in the United States court system today would consider death different from murder, different from killing. Those are different things. In the scripture where it says, and actually in the Ten Commandments where it said, "Thou shalt not kill," that's actually not the same thing as murder and I want to say death, but that doesn't make any sense. But what I want to actually do, I want to close this out because I actually made a promise that I just wanted to keep. I wanted to come back and at least say something. Um, I actually got something to do, but I didn't want to sit here and lie because doing this first live stream, um, it was actually a test run, and it kind of went so well that I just wanted to come back and do it again when I should have just waited another day because uh, talking for almost 3 hours straight kind of got me tired. But like I say, I didn't want to come back. I didn't want to go back on my word. I would say stay tuned to the information that I'm going to bring out. If you notice, I'm not really bringing out too much new information because I'm reiterating on all the stuff that I did in my previous videos from the beginning, and actually expound on it more and bring out a little bit more on it because you always learn. I'm doing some self-reflecting on what I used to do a month ago with my videos, and not only that, self-reflection that you should put on yourself a view of the self-reflection that you should check out on yourself according to your life. I'm a little bit tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. I appreciate whoever's viewing and whoever's watching, one single person. But more information will be coming out. I don't know when I next do this live stream. I will actually put it up, but like I say, I appreciate the brothers and sisters who are actually viewing this, who have viewed the first live stream, who gave feedback, and were actually a part of this platform that's being built. This is actually a ether soapbox. That's all YouTube is, an Ethernet soapbox. And we this is actually putting the crate together, putting the whole, you know. But I say stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and leave up out of this because I'm a little bit tired and I just don't want to go back on my word by telling you. And my sister said something about showing some land. I don't know. And besides, I know it is people, even though it is snakes that were in the chat room during the first live stream, and just haters that do certain stuff, man, like to record you and like to save stuff for later. They basically want to get information to bring back out on you at a later date. I know how that go, um, but it's all cool though. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this, and I'm out.